Todd, can you hear us now?
Yep,
Okay.
I'm good. Yep.
Todd,
Hello there, folks. How are you?
doing well.
Great. Happy
Right.
Monday. There you
You're
go.
up.
Great. Yep. Thanks for having me remote. Mondays are kind of busy. I had three other meetings, so thank goodness for Zooms. So I appreciate you guys, your flexibility with me on this. Um, I have a pre-sale report, the pre-sale bond report for you to consider. It's in your packets. Um, so I'm Todd Hagan. For those of you who don't know me or remember me, I'm from Ellers and Associates, and we are located in Roseville, in the Twin Cities, and I am your bond guy. There we go. They call us municipal advisors. So Christina had me take a look at a couple different financing options for a couple pieces of capital equipment you're looking at, and specifically a backhoe and a loader, maybe. Um, and it's, not a ton of money, but we should be able to package this financing up. We'd call it a general obligation equipment certificate. We're looking at about $177,000 after we pay the cost of issuance. We've got a bond attorney on this. We're using your regular bond attorney from Minneapolis, and then you've got me. So the pre-sale report, we kick this off, looking at the terms, conditions, sort of how we're going to sell this. There's a couple resolutions for you to consider. One is to authorize Ellers to proceed packaging this bond issue up. And we're going to solicit to local banks and regional banks. And there's some other banks that have bid on bonds that we've helped other municipalities with. So we're looking at more of a bank loan financing than a bond issued out into the public market because it's so small. And I would come back on July 8th and present the bids. I think we'll probably stop the bidding on the 3rd because, it's the week of July 4th. So we'll probably know who's bid on it, who the winning bidder is and stuff on the 3rd. So I can let Christina know what we've got going on then for Monday. I also would like some banks, Christina, too, in your area, across the street and around you guys, somewhere where you think might be interested in bidding on the bond. That would be great. I'll give you an idea of others also, and then have you send that back to me in an email. That would be great. We're looking at a 7-year term on this one, kind of tracking the expected useful life, I suppose, of the financing. Callable anytime, prepayable anytime, all, none, some, on any day without penalty. That's typically how the banks, they're usually okay with that. And again, it's a general obligation bond, so it should be cheaper than a lease transaction. It's backed by the full faith and credit and taxing powers of the city of Blackduck. And so it's tax exempt, both federal and state. And then it will be bank qualified as well. So bank qualification means that banks can deduct up to 80% of their carrying cost to buy the bond. So it's kind of a triple good thing for those folks if they want to participate. Bank rates have been going up, well, ever since the Fed kept cranking up their rate, right? So it's going to be a little higher than a market financing, but again, it's too small to go out into the market. It's too small to get it rated, and all that good stuff. So we're going to keep it local, if that's okay with you folks. Again, there was one resolution for you to consider that allows Ellers to move forward with it and come back with bids. The other resolution is an intent to issue resolution, and you guys have issued or passed these before. You publish the resolution, wait 10 days, and then we're good. And the reason why we do that is because state law has a limitation on these types of bonds. And if they exceed 0.25% of your estimated market value of the city, then we just have to approve this little one-page resolution and publish just the inside no votes. You know, we don't have to publish all that kind of stuff, just the inside um, part of the resolution. And it's not a public hearing. We just have to kind of put it in there and wait 10 days. And if we don't get a petition that turns this around to an election, then we're good to issue the bonds. Typically, if it's essential equipment like this is, we shouldn't get any pushback from the public. Also, this is really the most cost-effective method of financing there is out there. So it really doesn't get much better than this. I think your limit is, you know, your estimated market value keeps going up every year, which is great to see. So your limit is like just a little under $110,000 for a bond like this without having to publish that resolution. So you're getting close. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, you folks have any questions, I'll yield to, you know, the council. Otherwise, I would look at those two resolutions. If you guys could pass those, that would be great.
Todd, is it correct that we have to pass both of those resolutions?
Yeah, that would be, yep, that's what I would recommend. If we don't pass that one, that intent one, then we'd have to lower the bond issue down to under 110,000.
So it's not two different options.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
They go together. Yep.
Both resolutions is one option and your company handles it. Is that right?
Yep. I mean, this is the option we're going, what we're recommending. Christina's okay with this option. And yeah, those two resolutions are part of this package. Yep.
Next, if no one has any questions for Todd, then you can go down to B and C.
Yeah, I thought I did, but I guess I answered it. So.
Yep. And then when they come back on July 8th, there'll be what we call the award resolution. And that's the bigger one that gets drafted by your bond attorney with all the closing papers and stuff. So that's the one, you know, kind of where the rubber hits the road. The real one, the real legal one that sort of locks everything in at that time.
Okay.
Yep.
So then we'll move on to item B. City Resolution number 2407. We need a motion to pass this.
Motion. Resolution 2024-07 to approve.
Motion, do I have a second?
I will second that.
Okay. We have any discussion on this? Then all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. Motion carries. Item C.
Motion to approve 2024-08 resolution.
Motion, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that passes also.
Great. Well, thanks. Have a good 4th of July if I don't talk to you before then.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd.
Yep. Appreciate it.
So then we're to D,
Since the lead service line inventory, yes.
our second.
Did they get a updated?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I did it today.
And I've actually had a few people asking about this, and I've assured them, I hope you're getting more in.
That's what we're gonna discuss, right?
No,
Hasn't been.
because I've been telling them it's not, yeah, go ahead, send the photos, it's what we need to do, but I would hope. So, well, what do we do?
Yeah, do we have a percentage of responses?
We have, so I think there's 289 connections or something like that we had from Christina or whatever, and I don't know, we probably knocked out 30 or 40 of them because they were developments that were built after 1985, so the light band, so it was just eliminated those, and then we sent letters to the rest, and we've maybe received 70 letters. I think we have 178 with no response after the first two. So kind of the third letter that we would like to send would be basically be requesting that people sign up for a time slot, and then we would do a visual inspection, just go and get the picture ourselves or determine the pipe type. So that was kind of the main premise of putting it on the agenda, was to make sure you guys are aware of that. If there's any suggestions of how to get more responses.
Get compliance.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
then we need to do that, because again, this is mandatory, and we have to understand it's for everyone's benefit, right? Because if there are lead service lines out there, what this does is it gives us the ability to identify where they are, and then try to secure funding dollars in the future. So by not responding, we're only hurting ourselves, you know, by doing this, so. And this information has to be collected, and we have to get it into the GIS system, and we have to get it off to the Department of Health by July 15th. So we don't have a lot of.
As a reminder, it's at no cost to the homeowner.
Well, this is one of those mandates that's finally funding.
Yes.
It is, you know, being directed through the EPA, but the Department of Health has taken on the initiative. They are paying consultants directly to complete the work.
So if somebody had to go in and do this, who would do that?
It would have to be us, because the city cannot be reimbursed for the time that they spend on this. So we would want to do that so that it doesn't take the city away from their responsibility.
How long, well, I'm not even gonna ask how long that would take.
Well, we just talked about now 170 homes that have responded. That would take at least 10 days worth of us going out and getting pictures.
In like 20-minute increment, you know.
That's assuming you get 20 minutes for a full day
And,
filled with people,
Correct.
and everybody's home,
right?
right?
Yeah, and
Right.
doable and
Christina, what's the possibility of adding something in with the water bills that are gonna be going out shortly?
Absolutely do that, but the pushback that I'm seeing here in City Hall is people don't want to be told what to do. I've had customers tell me they don't like the word mandatory. And when I try to explain to them that is to their benefit, it's of no cost to them. Paige and I have done our best where email us the pictures, we'll send them to Caleb, or, you know, a lot of the problems we're seeing are people don't know how to share or email or text a picture.
I've had a few of those. I actually have some pictures for Caleb in that. Something that people need to be aware of is that, you know, I understand that not wanting the intrusion and it's my house, I can have what I want.
Yep.
But I went over this 3 years ago when this first started, being as the city doesn't truly own the service lines. It was my opinion then, and it's still my opinion now, that we shouldn't have to be on the hook at all for this. The city shouldn't be a part of it. However, we are. With that said, one thing to note and understand is that for any home business, any hookup that we don't verify or get a picture for, the state automatically counts that as being a lead service line, which is obviously not good for us.
well, it's not good for them. That was gonna be my exact comment.
Correct.
Too, is that they have to understand by not completing this, they're putting them on a list to be followed up with later,
Right.
and it will not be as pleasant as probably the one that we're getting.
No, at some point in time, there will most likely be a state representative
Yep.
of some kind coming around and, you know, telling you, you gotta let them in type of deal. It's better, I mean, most people around town know me, I mean, if nothing else, call me and I'll come take the picture.
Well,
I've
that
done it
or
a couple
they'll
times.
still be flagged as having lead service to their house, and then the government will come up and then saying, when you get your service line fixed, you got X amount of time to get it done.
I don't know how to change them. I mean, Paige and I talked with many people.
I
and
guess
done
that was the
everything.
question is, what do we do when, you know, they're out there knocking on the door and then, you know, they get the response of,
If they give us no response, they'll be noted as having a lead service.
Right.
okay, and then in the future,
What happens with that?
They'll be put on a list.
And people,
Yeah,
somebody else comes to their
The state will.
Yeah, it won't be
Eventually the
anyone
state's
local.
gonna
Yeah.
end up getting involved with people.
Yeah,
It's
'cause-
not to that point yet. This is obviously new for everybody still. But eventually, if the state is gonna take it this far, the state is gonna have to step in and send people around. It's just gonna be the only thing that can
it'll be more
happen.
like a really annoying census taker.
Well, no, they won't do any more inventory. You know, the thing you have to understand is this is a health safety welfare issue. That's
Yep.
why it's being done, right?
Right.
And so the inventory is to address the need that's out there to fix the problem. If they're not going to do that, you know, the inventory will identify that hopefully over the next 10 years, there'll be a plan in place with funding to say, here's how we're gonna take care of these, you know, out of date services. And so in the future, they'll be on the list as having a lead service line, whether they have one or not. And somebody will be bugging them as to how you're gonna get that fixed.
And that's where we're in somewhat of a unique position with not owning the service lines.
Well,
Because the other towns that own the service lines will be forced into replacing them. See, that's where we walk a strange line of ownership here. Because we don't own the service line at all. The tap and the line is all the homeowners. So that's why we're in a very odd spot. There's not many of us across the state that are in that position.
Well, what about looking at it for resale value, or, you know what I mean, if it's flagged as that.
There's all
could that be
sorts
a-
of,
Could that be a, you know,
Motivator?
incentive you,
Well, that could be coming down the line too, where you have to disclose that, you know, it's no different than septic and well, so
yeah,
it just isn't in place.
there's a lot of stuff that's unanswered still with this whole thing. It's
but I
been.
mean, that approach to some homeowners would be like, oh,
It's been 3-4 years now that I've been hearing about this and things changing, trying to get in order and. You know, there's lots of steps that are gonna come down the
Right.
road at some point. I don't think anyone really truly knows what they are yet. It's just. Hoping for the best right now is what it kind of seems to me out of the state.
What we've been trying to do out of this office is explain to everybody that's asking is that this is not just us. This is nationwide. Everybody in every city is being asked to do this
Correct.
for their benefit. So it's not a one-off, and to please participate. So,
It goes easier.
well,
We could be, yeah.
we've got a very short timeline going forward after tonight.
Okay, so,
We need everybody's
Yeah.
participation.
We need, because what we would do is we would set up, we're purchasing a software to put on, I don't know if it goes directly to the city.
It'd be like a tab on the.
There'll be a
city's
tab on the
Yeah.
website.
So then what that would do is it would allow your residents to go sign up for a time slot, and we've basically gotta say, we've got a 2-week window to get all these things done, because we can't push this out. Okay, after we get the data, we've gotta assemble it, and then we gotta get it out to the department. So we need to have all of these site visits done in June.
That's the 10th now.
Is the temporary, you know.
I don't think it would hurt one bit to put something in with the water bill, because there's been a lot of calls that I've received. Again, like we spoke originally, is this true? Is this legit? You know, if we put something right in with the water bill that they know they're getting from us every month, you know, maybe
Well, it's a postcard, so we'd have to print it on the.
whatever we gotta do,
Stuff, different stuff written on the back.
you know, that way it's obviously legit, it's coming from us, and if we pick up an extra 20% off of that, it's better than nothing.
The participation is much better, not great, obviously, once you can put the city's letterhead on it, the first letter was. pretty cool.
They're right, no.
well, there's so many scammers out there.
Yeah.
Well, if I can take a picture with my flip phone and email it to Caleb, I think anybody can, so.
Well, there's some people who don't, like older generation, older people don't have phones. Everybody's doing this? No.
We've, Mike has gone to a couple of houses that have no way of doing it and or no capacity to. But again, like Tim said, our staff's not supposed to be doing it, right? For it to be
Right.
from the federal.
But what I'm asking is that if someone who's not technical savvy and doesn't get on the website, doesn't have a computer, is there any way they can contact these people?
I think Caleb's.
Well,
Yeah, they
phone
can feel it,
number-
phone
Numbers
numbers.
been in here.
Yeah, they said they get.
Yeah, Blake's number, then my email, and they can certainly email me and just say.
Well, but what I'm saying is some folks may not even have.
They need a
Oh,
phone
yeah.
number.
I mean, I have customers that come in and buy stuff from me.
My phone number is on there, my name and phone number, and I mean, anybody, and I've had to do it a couple times already.
Right,
I'll
I
go
mean-
snap the picture and I'll send it out and everything.
And,
Right,
you know, they
because I'm
just,
gonna have customers that they don't have a phone, cell phone, or a
Right.
computer.
I mean, if you got absolutely nothing, no phone, no computer, no nothing, you can at least leave me a message up here.
Right,
You know.
right, well, I
at City
was
Hall.
just wondering if
Yep.
that was something, you know, just because of scheduling tab, you know, I just think
Right.
about, like, my mom has tech, but a lot of times I have to talk through stuff.
All right, well,
We'll add it to it.
it's what we're gonna do.
we just wanted to make you aware of it, that,
Yep.
you know, again, we're just trying to help the residents the best we can. And it's gotta be procedural, so.
Have you had any responses so far where you think the line is lead?
No, nothing like that. There's some pictures that I've gotten where it's blurry, you can't tell what it is, you know.
Mine was nice and sharp.
Yeah.
And I have one of the oldest
So that
houses.
brand new phone you were using.
I have one of the oldest houses in town and I have copper.
Right.
So, well, it was redone when the water mains were put in the street.
So then we can move on.
I think so, unless you don't,
Nope, City of Blackduck recycling site lease.
Mike. Now you can talk.
What?
The lease agreement. I put under you that you requested this morning.
You can talk, I forwarded it to you, I read through it, it's,
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you got a chance to, it looks pretty straightforward to me, it's like we spoke on the 20-year deal.
Yep.
It's, I'm not gonna recite any of it for you, I think it just, I don't see anything wrong with it whatsoever. I don't see any reason we wouldn't go ahead with it.
Then we will need a motion to approve this lease agreement with Brandon County. Lori, you wanna make a motion?
Yeah, I will make a motion. Motion to approve the lease draft for Beltrami County for the property where the recycling center is.
Okay. On the motion, you wanna have a second?
Second that.
Okay. Any discussion on this? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none? Motion carries.
And then we have one more. Administrative.
Yeah. I forgot already.
Was I supposed to add something?
No.
Right, Brenda, or-
Where? This conversation I had only an hour and a half ago. Okay, go through the protection plan first.
Yeah, the wellhead protection plan, so Mike had contacted us a few months ago. This is one of those unfunded mandates that is circling through the state, so there's a wellhead protection plan that's been developed for the community. And it's good for 10 years, and Blackduck, theirs is up July 10th of 23, or it was up, so now we basically got 2 years to get the new plan updated, so this is one, the Department of Health did the original part 1 for the city, but part 2, they're putting back on the onus of the city. And so Mike had asked us to put together a proposal to assist, with that effort. And so that's what this is. It essentially takes about a year to get all this information gathered. We have to send it back to the Department of Health, we have to review it, we have to make modifications, and they've given us until July 30th of 25 to get this completed, so.
Yep.
So that's what you're looking at.
What was the word they used when they were, that area that was around?
Wisdom.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's a drinking water supply. Yeah.
I'm surprised you guys remember that. That was good.
I was like,
That was a hard
I'm
one.
trying to remember Wisma.
Yeah.
It was,
And I actually just spoke with Chris Parsons from Minnesota Department of Health the other day. He reached out and they're behind. That's part of why we have this extension, because we got with them before it was our time, but they kind of drug their feet, and I just talked to them for the first time in 6 months or so the other day. I just wanted to let you know, we haven't forgot about you. I'll call you tomorrow and we'll set something up. Haven't heard from them since, so just the way it is. But absolutely something we
but
have
it's
to
something
do.
we have to.
We don't have a choice in the matter.
Then, we would need another motion. Lori, I'm looking at you.
Well, I don't want Lori to get
Okay, so,
laryngitis. So, in the interest of complying with the mandated wellhead protection plan, I move we approve the Woodset proposal to assist with part 2 of the wellhead protection plan amendment. From dated May 20th, 2024.
if you're on. That motion, do I have a second?
Second that.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. Motion carries.
That's all my main bullet points here. Other than that, my summer help has started. We're trying to get them up to speed, and so we can get them out doing stuff so we can start tackling the bigger projects that we want to do.
You ever cut the grass?
Start with me about the grass. If it stopped raining every other day, it'd be a lot easier. Obviously things have been wet. Our ponds are at max capacity right now. Every time we gain a little bit, here comes more rain to fill them right back up again. Our collection system that we've spoke about many times in here is obviously really showing its deficits right now with how much extra water we're putting out to our ponds that we shouldn't be. In all honesty, I'd say we're probably, well, every time it rains, I can check my stuff the following day and my run times have doubled, if not tripled. So that's how much groundwater is out there and how much is getting into our collection system like we talked about. Out at Pine Tree Park, to make everyone aware, one of the primitive end, the south end outhouse out there seems to have developed a crack in the tank. Obviously with the water table being up in the ground right now, I pump it, it's full the next day. So right now it's closed. We're gonna essentially have to knock it down, put a new tank in and put a new bathroom on top of it. So you all know that will be coming at some point this summer. More good news, I've got a main lift station problem that just surfaced. The outlet pipe, so the main lift station, all the wastewater from town goes to that main lift station. From there, it's runs by force main, so it's forcibly pumped all the way out to the lagoons behind the golf course there. One of the effluent pipes has cracked, so as it's trying to pump to go out there, now this pipe is in the wet well, so we're not, pumping sewage on the ground or anything. But as it's trying to pump, half of what it's pumping is just going right back into the well. So that pipe or that pump, if the run times every day are 500 minutes a day, it's really it should be 250 minutes. So we're putting excessive wear onto our pump right now. And also part of the way that we track the amount of wastewater that's going out to the ponds is from tracking the amount of time that our pumps run. We know the gallons per hour per minute that they run. We use minutes. That's how we tell the state essentially how much wastewater we're putting in the ponds. So with this happening right now, it looks like we're putting a lot more wastewater in our ponds than what we actually are. That's a problem. The main problem here is that in order to fix this, I actually had Minnesota Pump here today to work on some other stuff. In order to fix this, what we have to do is we have to be able to pump around that area. Well, that's not real easy to do when you have closed off force main and when all the wastewater from town is coming to this one spot. So we got to get together and kind of come up with a game plan of what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. That pipe will be replaced and we will replace, so there's 2 pumps in that wet well. We're going to do them both at the same time. Where it is, it's on an elbow, so we can't just jump in there and put a quick repair sleeve on it. It's not possible on an elbow like that. So we'll do both of them at the same time. And then I'm thinking there's a dry pit right there. There's also another manhole upstream. And I'm thinking we can go from the manhole to the dry pit. We're just going to have to go in through the check valve and stuff there. We'll gut that out and go in that way. But it's going to cost us some money. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't know how much it's going to be yet. I'll know more when we get closer.
But we can use the rest of the,
Oh, we're going to use a lot more than that.
I know, but that'll at least help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll cut it down because I think we have
17,
I
11.
think we're down to 11,000 on that
Yep.
extra kind of sewer fund money there.
More money, so that'll
So
help.
is this an age
Yep,
break?
that's
Yeah.
absolutely
Not
what it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep, you know, those, it's, you know, wastewater is corrosive to an extent. I guess I shouldn't say that so broadly, but again, that lift station's been in there. I'd have to check the exact year that that one was put in, but I'm sure that one's been there well over 20 years at this point without any of the major components being replaced. And, you know, we're pumping millions of gallons of water per year through those pipes. You know, just from the turbidity alone of the water, it's going to wear out on that stuff. So again, kind of plays into the PER stuff that we've gone over for a long time. I wish it would have held together a little bit longer.
So,
But, you know, it's obviously it's not a full reno on that. It's just do what we can to get us by for a while.
Where specifically is this station?
That is, you know where the BICAP building is? It's to the northwest of the BICAP building, just south of our water plant, kind of. And that's,
Near the road now, or?
it's a ways off of the
Ways
road.
off.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, that one, every ounce of wastewater in this town goes through that one, and then it's forced, you know, linear footage, 2 miles, 1.5 miles out to the wastewater ponds.
So you've been able to isolate it to the elbow.
Can't isolate anything. I know where it is. Yeah, I had to pump it down and I'm not going swimming. But yeah, it's down there. We've alternated our pumps and we've turned that specific pump has now become kind of the lag pump instead of the lead pump, and only will get used if we have a high flow situation where one pump can't keep up. So right now, with that said, now the other pump, the good one, now we're going to be putting double the water through it every day. Yep. And working that pipe even harder.
how long?
How long until the other one goes, or how long until we get it fixed?
Yes, yes.
No idea, and hopefully as soon as possible.
Okay.
There's some stuff to be aware of there.
Well, good news tonight.
It's just the elbow.
Been one of them months.
It's just the elbow or?
Yeah, there's actually a split in it. Without getting down there, I mean, it's 15 feet down there. It's almost right on the floor of it. It might even be a little further down. Without being able to get down and see exactly where it is, it looks to me, you got your pump, the pipe comes out, you got the elbow that comes up for the riser. It looks like it's on the elbow flange, but I can't 100% tell. And that has such high flow in that station that it fills up so fast. You pump it down and you don't want to pump them right to the ground, because when you do that, the pumps get plugged up with all the fun floaty stuff.
Well, but the good news is you can limit the pipe replacement.
That's, yeah, it's
That's
minimal. It's minimal to get us by.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it. I'm sure it probably is something else, but there's nothing that's super pressing that I can think of.
Good advisement, thank you, sir. These guys. Rhonda? Liquor store.
Yeah. I don't have any real big updates, so far for the lottery, we sold like $1,367 worth of scratchies and online. Of course, we don't, I mean, it's tiny percentage of that we get, so it's not huge numbers here. We're not increasing our money that much.
Are the numbers different for like pull tabs and the bingo, the sync,
Each different entity has its own commission rate.
Yeah.
There's 3 different ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not huge yet, but I'm hoping that it'll build and
traffic picking up?
oh yeah. Yep, for sure. You can tell all the little ones are out of school and families are coming up to cabins and you can really tell.
But May was, I mean, walleye opener wasn't.
Yeah, well, the fact that we've had a monsoon has not helped. I mean, it does, I mean, people, they see it's gonna rain, 90% chance, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they like, oh, let's stay home and do yard work if we can, or, but yeah.
It's hurting everybody.
Huh?
It's hurting everybody.
Yeah, June is really very decent right now. So far, 10 days in, so.
Anything big coming up? I mean, 4th of July stuff? Or?
4th of July, yeah, we're busy enough with our tourists and fishermen and things.
Anybody got any questions for Shonda? Okay. You have anything else for us? Misty.
Not much new besides damage control from the rain. That's already, no, everybody else has already mentioned that, but, it's hugely affecting us. Like over Memorial Weekend, we didn't have any carts out. It was walk only, trying to preserve what I can. The cart damage out there is ridiculous. You wouldn't believe it. It's like a walking bog. Number 8 fairway on the slope of the fairway. I mean, I have 2 kids out there right now that are just putting dirt back in the stump holes that we ground, because that's a full-time job. On top of that, they're putting black dirt in all of our ruts. So it's just been kind of a nonstop battle with that. And I don't see that ending anytime. The irrigation system hasn't had to run too much, but we are down a pump. And Mike helped me out with that, and that's getting fixed. Our pump 2 was out, and I don't know how old that was.
Oh, since the start of the irrigation system out there,
Yeah,
it was original and.
Super old, I don't know, bearing or something went out of it.
Yeah, the bearings went out, and the motor tried running, with a stuck bearing and it just fried itself out. Yeah.
So luckily enough, the same kind of, like, he helped me out with that, and they took it and they're gonna bring it back for me. I don't know, so it's just been little ups and downs. Memberships are up though, probably up from last year. I'm seeing a huge increase on youth, which is a really nice thing. You know, everyone's kind of been trying to push to get youth out there. I've sold a way more youth memberships than I ever would have. It's pretty affordable for kids. For their youth membership, they only have to go basically 5 or 6 times and it pays for that membership. And so instantly they're coming back after they fall in love with it. They've been buying those memberships. A lot of the kids are kind of like senior high age kids that are coming. So I think that's really, really nice. They do take a little bit more work because they're the ones that are driving through the black dirt and, you know, have to reseed it. Little things like that, you know, you get a little riprap with that. But otherwise, I mean, traffic has been busy. It's just that every time we have a good day, we turn around and have a rain day. So, but nothing but positive things, really. I mean, I've had a lot of really positive feedback. Our greens are in great shape. We treated them again today for fungicide. So, I mean, everything looks really good. It's just that we had ruts everywhere and little things like that to fix. But I have 2 new tournaments added this year compared to last year that just joined in for another tournament. So I probably have 12 tournaments, I think, in my calendar for the season, which is a good thing and a bad thing because you have to turn away your locals and your memberships when you have tournaments. You know, they just shut down the course for that kind of stuff, but it's all good. So parts are running well. For the most part, I have knock on wood, I should have even said that. Couple little issues, new battery for one of the electrics is all we really had to do. Everything's been going pretty well. So. I do have the kids on cart duty now more than I did because it's too much for someone in the clubhouse to help people with their green fees, make a pizza, sell them their sodas, give them their balls, and then turn around and have to go back out and get more carts. And so I've had a kid on staff on Thursday nights, Friday nights, Saturday nights, and Sunday nights are my busier nights. So they've been running carts and then they're so muddy. The carts are just absolutely full of mud and full of grass. So I've been having them spray them off and get them back in line. So it's taken a little extra staff to keep that going too, but it's a great focus. Yeah, we need to make sure that those carts are being maintained, and it takes an extra person to really do that, to make sure that they're constantly being maintained. It's too much for one person to be behind the counter, cleaning all the carts, getting them all ready for the next person. And yeah, so that's been going good.
It just speaks to the traffic increase though.
Yeah. I mean, with bringing more people in and adding more, it's taking more people to get the job done. But I have really, really good staff. I can't complain. I've had pretty good luck on getting some kids down there to help out. Hopefully.
Good.
All well. Any questions for me?
Go for it. The library.
Well, the library board met in May. You saw the minutes in your consent agenda, approved it, had some requests. They wanted, you know, be part of the process, which we assured them that would happen. So given that, we're at the point of the final approval so that the council can give them that nod and WITSA can move forward, start working.
They would really want Kelly involved, and when Seth comes out to do their study, that she has some heads up so she could be part of what you're doing. And maybe a board member, I think it's what they were really looking for. It's, you know,
we'll do our best. I mean,
just give it a call, you know, calling her up and let her know when that will be. I'm sure she'll be able to make time to be there.
Yep.
So I know that was important to them. Motion to approve the 2024-05-03 brings up proposal for the feasibility study on the library.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None, motion carries. Okay, Christina,
What was I gonna add?
I don't know.
I'm talking to
Oh, for
Tim.
the addition,
Yeah.
we were gonna
Yes,
ask
told
about doing professional services in town for, developments.
Tim and I just need to discuss one thing with you guys under that I don't have listed, so. At this time, I would like to stop. I have the track club on first, right?
Yes,
You're us.
hey,
Thank you for being patient.
Well, thank you for your patience. I was supposed to be here last month. So I apologize for that. Do you need my address?
I do not.
Okay. I'm here on behalf of the high school track team, asking for a donation to help cover costs for tournaments. We did participate in the tournament at, Bemidji Lumberjack Invitational. We were heading to Alexandria on Wednesday and Thursday, which is a state qualifier, which could possibly qualify us to go to state in Prior Lake. And then we have nationals in July.
where is that held?
Nationals,
Is it Michigan?
it is Michigan, based in Michigan. Yep. So, we've asked a few different other organizations to help with the tournament fees, which includes the kids shooting and their ammo and some travel, so. I just had any questions for me.
How many kids?
We have 34 kids this year, so we're considered a 4A school for trout this year. And Blackduck is known for their kids for the simple fact that we don't turn kids down. Compared to the size of school that we have, other schools have a trial, and we don't do that. Every kid shoots. So, and we're pretty proud of that. So, certainly. So,
What was our? The request?
Their request is for $2,050.
Total list of what we. Come through
We
this
gave
year.
them what they asked for last year too. I think it was either $2,000 or $2,500.
This year's 2,050.
So this is in line with past donations, is that right?
It is, Ron.
Okay,
Blackduck trap, well, $2,050.
the motion, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion on this? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, hearing none, motion carries.
thank you very much.
Thanks for doing what you're doing with those kids too.
I didn't know about the 4A and the no tryouts thing.
It's,
That's of the many years that you guys have come, I didn't even know that. That's awesome.
There's classes with everything, so the trap pass goes from 1A to 9A. So we're 4A, but Bemidji's 9A, they're the top. Big shoot. Don't quote me, but I think it's close to 65 kids.
Yeah, their team is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And do they do trials?
that one I don't know. I know schools our size do tryouts.
Okay.
Typically limited them to 9th grade and above. So, that's how you build a program, like the younger ones.
Right.
And it's good to get them handling that in a safe way. So I do appreciate it. Thank you.
okay, item B. Christina,
I will introduce Miss Cleveland. And Charlie's.
I am not Charlie.
And Charlie,
So just for clarification, this little blue means that it's a link that you guys have to.
Yes, which
Charlie.
is this.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's his blue link.
Do you need your?
Well, he was gonna send that to me.
Well, I don't have my copy for now.
He called me this morning and he's like, what are you doing tonight? I was like, I don't know. Well, here I am.
It's all good.
Because
Okay.
this doesn't look like you're writing.
No, it's actually kind of legible. You're right.
Yeah.
Probably a few spelling errors that I wouldn't have done. So community ed is through the school. I'm also the community ed director at our school. That's my skin in the game here with this. And we started a pickleball league this school year. And I've slowly moving it outside. The school has been extremely generous with allowing us to use the tennis courts. We've kind of been all over. We've had people who have like asked us if we could put it down at the Wayside Rest, put it out at Pine Tree Park. So we figured the less evil of all of it would be just to keep on the blacktop at Blackduck. There's epoxy layers that you could put out that would kind of fill in the cracks of the blacktop. We spent a Sunday morning painting over the white stripes.
Do you believe I drove past?
Yep,
like
you
it?
did. We've got quite the crew. I mean, feel free to stop anytime. It's Keith Anderson, Charlie Anderson. I said it's really
That's why I kept going.
it's really sad when the best people in the league are 80 years old and Keith's out there just we're kind of open for everybody. Like we're open to young kids, high school kids. We put the courts out there. The school has we were trying to figure out a way to store the nets so that they don't get vandalized. We were talking about Rubbermaid totes, and Mark Lundin has used the warming house. Like we're turning that into our little pickleball clubhouse. There are some things that we need to improve in there. One of them is the toilet situation. There is a toilet. It just looks like a jail cell toilet. Not that I know what it looks like, but
It's stainless.
it's stainless, it's into the wall. There's no toilet seat, but like Mr. Lundin is like, use it, use the water, whatever you want to use. You know, we're talking about holding some tournaments in July and August. It's a growing sport. It's been around for many years. We're slowly infiltrating it into Blackduck. But it goes, we've got kids that play. My son is really good, which really makes me mad. I think I have a desire to be better at pickleball than what I am, but so far we've kind of just been paying for things as we go. But we'd really like it to be the Blackduck Pickleball Club, not the Blackduck Community Ed, just Blackduck. We'd really like to have some city participation financially, physically, just supporting us. Because we've had people from resort owners saying, you know, they know that I'm trying to run it from community ed. So, you know, like what night are your pickleball leagues? We're talking about, you know, you could pay a fee, you can be a member, you'll get a code. The school's willing to let us work on the door, put in an access code so that people can access the nets. It wouldn't be a free for all. You'd have to have, you know, a membership fee, then you'd get the code. We'll have open nights when anybody can just come in. Charlie's very patient in his instruction. So anybody wants to learn how to play, no age limits from 5 to 90.
You guys have paddles and stuff
We
available?
have paddles, we have nets, we have balls, we have Charlie's father or son-in-law has graciously used tire wells that Doug Jolson donated. So we've kind of, you know, we're making tire wells to make a snow fence to keep the balls from rolling all over. So we're kind of just been working on like getting anybody to help us out as we can. So we're asking, I think he said $2,000 was what it was that we're looking for. We're also asking other organizations. But we're not just looking, you know, we love the financial support, but we'd also love the community support, the town support. People to say, yeah, we've got pickleball every Wednesday night, Thursday morning, you know, whenever we get that established, we'll be letting you know.
Is it something that you guys, it sounds like you want to try to make it more of your own organization, or like you have, you know, Charlie's the pickleball president.
We keep saying that to him and he keeps saying no. Yes, we're looking at what we are looking, we need a treasurer, Julie Gilson's kind of willing to be a treasurer, when she has something to treasure, she said, we'll get an account opened up, like just across the street, probably at the bank. It's just so, we're channeling our enthusiasm. Everybody who's excited about it, wants it to work. And it's a good group of people. It's great for our community. It's great for our kids. It's great for our school. We have summer school coming up. We already have the courts painted out there for 2 of them. We did that one night after school. That one didn't go quite so well as the painting over them, but we did it. So summer school is going to be using the pickleball courts for their kids.
The Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, that'll be starting in the fall. Yeah, they're more than welcome to use it. The school, I said, is, has been actually very gracious in allowing us to just use the tennis courts, but they will need more than just the black tar. It will need this epoxy that's put over the top of it so that the ball. So when you miss the ball, we can't blame it on the blacktop anymore, where we hit the seam. You just miss the ball. We just make do, but we would really like to get it so that people come in and they're like, oh, let's go play at the Blackduck. Like, let's go use their courts. Algoma down in Bemidji has 9 courts. They're full all the time.
Do you know how much the epoxies cost?
I don't. Julie and Kelly are kind of looking into that because I know that that's out of my skill set.
I remember when Charlie first came for this, it sounded like you guys still needed nets, but you just said you guys have nets.
We've purchased the community ed has purchased these nets. Okay. They're not the greatest nets. Charlie's really would like to get some permanent nets in there. I'm not on that. I know our
I remember tennis court nets back in the day. And
that's what Charlie keeps bringing up. We had tennis courts out there. I'm like, Charlie, that was 40 years ago. Yeah. Our town life isn't
quite the same.
Okay. I don't mean to be.
No.
But yeah. My plan was find these juvenile delinquents and say, okay, I'm paying you $20 a month to watch our nets. If you see anybody messing with it, you call me. Yeah. And they'll be like, okay.
But there's other cities that are taking their tennis courts.
Oh my gosh. Ely, we were there for every place we go for baseball. Yeah. These tennis courts are gone, and that's what they've done is epoxied it. Charlie feels like with $2,000 we could get started this summer, and then we wouldn't have to move it to the Wayside Rest next year.
Yeah, that blacktop just needs to be like completely redone.
But we want
it is in better shape.
Yeah, it is. It's not terrible. But I would like to be able to say, it's the Blackduck Pickleball Club because it's the community, it's the school, it's the people, not just the 6 of us running to Northwoods and buying the paint ourselves or getting the spray paint from Randy Noderman. We'd like to be able to get some help financially.
How big a following does it have when through community ed?
We've had anywhere from 10 to 15 people. During the school year, we try to keep it just as adults because lots of times people don't want to come in and hang out with children.
No.
Is it? But during self-included. But during the summer, we really want it just to be family friendly. Sure. Like pickleball, you go to Target now, there's paddles everywhere. The snow fence will help because the blacktop is immense and it does get a little exhausting chasing the balls. When I ran it through community ed 2 summers ago, it was $3. People just had to come in, they had to pay $3, but it was only 1 night a week. There are people who are like, I want to come in the morning, I want to come in on the weekends, and I couldn't do that myself solo. So Charlie kind of grabbed the bull by the horns, and I was the bull. And we got it started. Then we left for Arizona, so I just kind of ran with it. But we've had a great following. We have new people come every night during the school year.
Okay.
New people are always showing up. Free lessons.
Do you have any idea how long the epoxy will last once it's put on?
No, I do not. That is a very good question.
We checked with the pickleball club in Bemidji.
What its lifespan is.
Yeah.
So if you guys are taking over the warming house, what are they gonna do in the winter time?
Well, we don't need pickleball in the winter time.
Where do you put your nets?
Well, then we move it into the school. We can't use the school during the summer.
I understand.
Good question. Yep. They tear it, they pull up our tape, they do the floors. We can only use the school when basketball season is over. So that's like the two months.
Okay.
But yeah, we hope to keep using the warming house for skating. We didn't get skating done this winter. It was too nice, but no, the ice skating rink is, and it'll just have a nicer toilet with a toilet seats.
I suppose they put it in there because
The hockey club.
skates, they don't kick up.
Yeah, and vandals, kids have broken into that building, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But Julson, her husband's Kelly, and Charlie found a steel toilet today that had a toilet seat on it, so he said it could be done.
You need to get donations so you can get stuff.
Right, oh yes, I mean, it's not.
I know what it feels like to be running around.
Right. So, do you guys have any other questions for me though? Like,
No, I don't. You guys think?
free lesson for everybody. Is that bribery? It's probably not legal.
Conflict of interest.
Okay.
We'll just,
Oh, here, sorry.
Something.
Thank you though. Once you get all healed up, then you can kind of think, come on. Oh, seriously, there's no athletic ability needed. I had a friend who came and she's like, I am so not athletic. And I said, just come one time. She came one time, putting in a pickleball court in her resort. She learned that, yes, we can do it. It's easier than tennis.
but wanna. New.
There's something new.
Any ages. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, it's very good, right?
I'll make a motion. That the. City give $2,000 to the Blackduck pickleball.
Second that.
So you'll be okay with that being the official name, the Blackduck Pickleball Club?
I'd be okay with it. Do you want it worded otherwise?
Nope, that's what we'd prefer, like that's why we'd like it to be part of our city.
I don't know that. Yeah,
There'll be waivers, like city is not responsible for any, neither is the school.
I don't think that's something.
Wow.
It's just who the money goes to.
right. All right, we have a motion and on the table, it's seconded. Is there any discussion about it? I would just like to say though that we will probably have to examine some other areas of donations later on.
Actually, I think we should probably get a total where we are in our budget for our next.
Want to do a work
Write that at the
session.
work session for you guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
And it'll give us an idea so we can. We might have to scale something back this year.
We already did the kids.
But I mean,
But yeah.
I know it feels like robbing Peter to pay Paul, but it's one of those
Right.
things.
Sometimes you gotta pivot.
We gotta make a little bit of a movement here on this one. I don't think that it's, it's got some popularity. I think it'll get some traction if they have the right stuff to do it.
It's money going to a new cause and for everybody, I think.
Yep, so with that, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
The only other things underneath me are just some observed dates. Juneteenth is obviously June 19th, so city offices, city hall and the DMV will be closed. June 24th is the scheduled work session. June 24th, we'll also have our 2023 financial audit presentation from Miller McDonald. John Roscoe couldn't come tonight, so he'll be here at the work session to do that.
Okay.
The planning commission, because of Juneteenth's holiday, their meeting is being pushed to the following Wednesday, which is June 26th. June 28th starts early state primary voting. If you haven't been ready for an election yet, it's coming very quickly.
When our local races supposed to be registered by our.
There's a 2-week window in August. I
That's what I
will
was-
report that in the
That's what I
July
was-
meeting.
I was trying to remember when it was on this, but.
Yep.
No problem.
July 4th obviously is Independence Day, and our city offices here will be closed. And then July 8th is the next city council meeting. And then the last thing, that Tim reminded me we wanted to discuss was, professional services. This is in lieu to the question that you and I were discussing, right? Yeah. So we have, WITSEF has an opportunity to, work with and put in a proposal for a fairly large project that could be coming up in the pipeline here in town. And Tim came to me wondering if it was going to be a conflict if they put in for this proposal, because they're also our city engineer. I consulted our attorney, and financially, I don't see that it being a conflict unless there are things that the council has to approve on the project too. Then they could be voting in favor of both. Should I even bring up what the project is so that it has more perspective for them?
Yeah, we were getting okay to, you know, that's
Okay. Yeah, the Blackduck co-op, the expansion, the fertilizer plant, obviously they're gonna be requesting proposals from firms and contractors, so what's up is interesting putting in for their team for that.
Oh, I see where.
And they did not want that to become a conflict with as city of Blackduck, they're also our engineers, so I financially, it's just, if you're voting on two things, one that allows money to the other one, that can create a conflict. But right now, I feel like it's fairly separate unless it becomes.
Since we're kind of just passing it along, aren't we?
Well, on the conveyance side, yes, Max, but when you get to the actual project, if there's other planning that has to be approved,
I see.
there is a possibility of that, but for that particular one, kind of a stretch for me.
Okay.
In my first thought, because it's the zone that's in, you know, we've talked about water and wastewater, and they're kind of in their own element in that area. There's very, very far away for them to like maybe improve and go to connect to water and sewer at this point. So for this particular one, I don't know if there's going to be a conflict, and can't tell them not to do it. But we wanted to be open about the potential.
Whenever we're offered an opportunity like that, the eyes ask our clients first, because, you know, our loyalty lies with the city. So if you don't have an issue, you know, you put a proposal, if there's an issue, then we went.
So at this point, WITSEF is just looking at submitting a proposal, and
Correct.
other
Other
firms
firms
will be submitting proposals.
Correct.
So you're not the chosen.
No, it's not a guarantee.
That you may or may not be
Correct.
selected by.
Correct.
Yep.
So we're looking for a formal thing here,
No.
or just a?
No, we're
basic
probably
council head
just,
nod?
we're just giving
General.
a general consensus of understanding that there isn't, we don't see a conflict.
Very good.
Like Chrissy had said, our alarm system got installed this past month. It's working really good, unless there's a lot of wind and I have a vacuum. Thursday, my door alarm went off every couple of minutes because the wind kept blowing the door open. But it is nice. There's two different alarms when the door is open, a different one to the back than the front. So it is kind of a nice notification that somebody's coming in the building, especially if it's just one of us here. If you're in the safe or in the restroom, you can hear it, so we know that somebody's coming in, so so far I really, appreciate having it in, so thank you.
Council reports.
I have something to ask. I was talking to our police officer yesterday. And a whole bunch of kids came up to the squad. Well, I was talking to them and they were asking him for stickers. And so he said, well, I don't have any. I said, well, a council meeting. So he said that would be, he said that would be a good thing. So I said, I'll bring it up. Like,
I'll order them some.
so he goes, I've never had any here in Blackduck to give away. So
They're on the same lines as what the fire department does when they do fire safety in October, but it's on the police side.
okay.
Yeah,
So
I know what he's talking about. I can get them.
so
Yep.
I get my
Yep.
what I asked.
Yeah, but,
Well,
that's, it's community policing, that's important.
well, it's really good that the kids come up to the squad and talk.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah. Perfect.
I thought it was good.
Don't forget Father's Day. It's also my birthday, so, just in case. Yeah, I'm a little miffed this year. Yeah, it doesn't happen all the time, but just want to remind everyone, especially my daughters, who might watch this. With that, anyone?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, sir.
I was second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? You stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Christina. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thanks, Mel.
Thank you, sir.